Hi guys, so we'll be going through our next problem, which is removing duplicates from a sorted linked list. So starting off, first I'll be having a basic check that if head is null, then I can straight away return the head which is null. See, whenever you solve these questions with linked list, always, you should never mess with the head of the linked list because you will end up losing all the elements if you lose the head. So in singly linked list, if you move the head to the next node, you can't access the previous elements if you have not stored them in a temporary variable. So my suggestion would be always try to store or initialize some temporary pointers which will be pointing to head, so that you don't mess with the head and you can go around playing with the temporary variable, so you will never end up losing the head of the linked list. Okay. Okay, so now I'll be iterating through my linked list with the help of my temp pointer. Okay, while temp is not null, we'll be iterating through our linked list. Now what our basic idea says, suppose I have this example. Now my temp will be initially pointing to this. Okay, so if I put a condition here that if temp dot well is equal to temp dot next dot well, so what we have to do is we have to remove the next element because it is actually a duplicate. So I can make it temp dot next equal to temp dot next dot next. So what I have done here is I've made the next of temp pointer point to the next of this node. Okay, and I've skipped the second node from my list by doing so. So what I'll be ending up with is I'll be ending up with this node, this linked list. Okay, so this condition will satisfy removing the adjacent element if both of them are same. But if you look out clearly, if I have another one, this if condition will not work here, so you have to put a while condition. So until all the elements are gone, which are duplicates, this while loop will result in a linked list which is this. Okay, now you have to go again and increment your temp pointer to go to the next node. Temp dot next temp equal to temp dot next. What this will do is this will make your temp pointer point to the second node. Okay, so this will end up here. Now if you see clearly, I have already made a check of temp should never be null, temp should not be null. Okay, in case the temp is null, the will break out of this outer while loop. Now we are missing with one condition here. See, you are making temp dot next equal to temp dot next dot next. Okay, and in this loop we are checking with the condition that temp dot next dot well and comparing with the temp dot well. So you have to also make a check here that temp dot next should not be null, because here you have already made a check in the outer loop that temp is not null, but whenever you are accessing a value of any node, this is a node that you are accessing a value. So you should be very clear that this thing, the highlighted thing, should never be null. So this was the check that we were missing. Sorry, this will be null. Okay, so here if I go through after this loop, after this iteration, because my adjacent elements are not same, the temp value will be pointing to this one. And now because the adjacent are same, this will point to we'll be skipping the, suppose this will be null, suppose this is null, so I'll be skipping through this one, and in one iteration this will be pointing to temp dot next will be pointing to null. Okay, and with this one, while breaking out of the loop, now in the next iteration temp will be pointing to null, and this condition will break in the case while we are finished with our linked list. So Now, what I was saying in the beginning was you have not messed with your head and you have just played with the temp pointer. So in the end, you can return with the initial head of the linked list. Okay. So I can try running this. Okay. Okay, cool. So we are done with the next problem. We can mark it as completed. Okay. Bye guys.